Hey, I'm really glad you're here. I figured I'd take yet another walk right through, but this time, maybe we'll have some comfy sunset vibes to enjoy. Although the sun does look like it's in a bit of a rush to tuck itself away, doesn't it? But that's okay. I'm sure we have a lovely journey awaiting us. It really is getting quite dark here, isn't it? It's so satisfying just hearing the grass again. Listen to that. Oh, that's so good. Now, this time I figured I'd try large biomes just to mix it up a bit. I'll just find a nice spot and we can just enjoy it for a while. Just have to make my way down nice and gentle. Sorry about that. We do have a whole cave to explore here. Well, maybe not. Never mind. It's just a little ravine, but look at that. Oh, the way it plays with the sun is so beautiful. Oh, we do have a cave. It's so tragic that the sun wants to go away so quickly. It really was pretty while it was here. And we have a lot of adventuring to do, don't we? I wonder what we could find out here. This really is a very gentle descent, isn't it? Very calming in its own way. Oh, now would you look at that? Oh, hey, what are these? Oh, that's cool. They react to movement? That's so cool. What on earth? Oh, this is so strange. Can I get down safely? Oh, we are making our way. That's the good news. Oh, okay. I'm a little dumbfounded right now. I swear I've never seen anything like this before. What on earth? Where are we? Is this like what I was saying before? They actually have like ancient civilizations down here. Hey. Hello, guys. It is a bit disconcerting hearing that croaking every now and then, but this is beautiful, my god. It's so surreal to walk through something like this. It's like an ancient civilization was once here. Oh, You know, this almost makes me think of in Dark Souls 2. Oh, that's loud. In Dark Souls 2, that I can't remember the place's name, but it was a long forgotten underground city. And they had this dragon named Sin. Yes, at least I think that was his name. Some sort of poison dragon. Oh, what on earth am I hearing? Okay, that was very creepy. Oh. Okay, at least it's not a ghost. That's a bit odd. I should really try to reassure myself that nothing's gonna try to harm me since I am on peaceful mode, but I'd be lying if I said this wasn't unbelievably creepy. Maybe I should just abort and just explore the overworld instead. Maybe that is the play. But I'm not gonna lie, this is fascinating. I gotta talk to my friend, ask him what all this is about. I've never even heard of anything like this being in the game. This is so cool. Unfortunately, I imagine these creepy vibes aren't exactly conducive to a good rest, huh? Especially with that noise constantly happening. It was novel at first, but now it's turning to be a little grating, isn't it? Oh, but no matter. It's not overly important now, is it? What happened here? Was this just the remnants, or are these... Is all this green stuff like the attackers? Try to destroy and take over the kingdom? Oh, well, they almost certainly should be going down that way. Hmm. I'm honestly not even sure what I'm aiming to do here. But it is nice to just explore for a bit. God, that sound. It's so moist with every footstep. Oh, God. Oh, that's some creepy sounds if I've ever heard some. Oh, that is a nice shot, though. Why is this game insisting on creeping me out so much? Oh my goodness. At least walking through the... Oh my gosh. Alright guys, I gotta I gotta try and make it out of here in one piece. I think I heard some fire. It was very brief, fairly sudden, which seems all the more disconcerting. Oh my gosh. Let's just try to make it out of here in one piece, shall we? I'm trying to think back, and I'm dearly, dearly hoping that I did set it to peaceful mode. Otherwise, I'm in for a not so great time coming up, I'm sure. Ooh. Gosh. The sounds they make, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies outright. Okay, I gotta hopefully swiftly find my way out of here. But I really can't remember how I got in. Oh, well, this might be good news for me. There we go. One waterfall elevator, please. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that, and we're completely safe, I think. I know I shouldn't, but curiosity is getting me. I really want to explore some more. Just a little bit more, you know? How bad can it be? Well, that is a bit of a drop, so maybe I should just leave it at that. You know, it's honestly not even planned, but I'm starting to realize I have a certain pattern with how I play this game. I have that overbearing urge to explore hit me, and I end up going underground for an inordinate amount of time. And then once I'm out, I'm too sketched out to actually go back down again. Maybe I should just make it a separate thing, you know, like one day I'll exclusively lose myself in the underground, and on another I'll exclusively keep myself up on the surface. You know, at this point, it feels like I'm not even really doing sleep content, at least not on purpose. It's just me playing the game and trying not to get freaked out, at least thus far in this episode. Let's see now. Where else can we go from here? Oh, that's right, we were in the ravine, weren't we? We can explore a good bit further, I'm sure. Or maybe... No, maybe I should just go all the way back to the surface. Oh, and we do have the perfect opportunity right here. Well, isn't that quite fortunate? Here we go. I'm so sorry. There's so much of that sound coming through. Oh, there she is, the beautiful moon. Okay, at least now we can very calmly, very safely just wander on through these lovely green fields. Oh, these rolling hills even. Wow. I think I see some firefly bushes way in the distance. It's quite nice, isn't it? We have some trees to get to. I gotta say, I'm just grateful to have a change of scenery at this point. As much as I do adore the cozy snowy caps, seeing something different is such a welcome change. There we go. Not too much of a swim now, is it? Again, I'm terribly sorry. I imagine it's like being waterboarded out here. You know, unfortunately, I'm very concerned about the quality in my videos. I know there isn't too much put to it except for the voice. Even that, it could do a whole lot more, I'm sure. That being said, I imagine it's still good to just push content out and try to get my practice in. At least I'll be hoping that's how it works. Try to build some confidence, get all that practice in. Oh, Oh my gosh, look at that. Are these cherry blossoms? Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh my god. Oh, I really hit the jackpot here. No, I just want to stay here and soak this in for a while. You know, as probably overdone and sappy as it sounds, I always think of The Last Samurai, you know, the old movie with Tom Cruise, whenever I see or think of cherry blossoms. I think, besides some early animes, maybe even before that, I think that was the first movie that really highlighted cherry blossoms and talked about how rare they blossom and how beautiful it was. And gosh, even in Minecraft, this really, really holds up. Look at that. Even just seeing the little flowers on the ground. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, I should probably do a whole video on some area like this, where all we do is simply explore a cherry blossom patch, you know. Maybe another where all we do is just, well, you know, do X or Y or Z. Just something relaxing and boring and embracing all the rambles in the background. I feel like that would be my best bet to help you fall asleep. I'm, I'm sorry, I'm already imagining all kinds of music playing, you know, the drums being hit, the strings being plucked, two samurai warriors approaching each other across this field. Terribly cheesy, I know, but you gotta admit, it is so iconic and so fitting for this kind of place, huh? Gosh, I can't imagine how fans reacted when this first came out. This must have been such an exciting moment. There must have been all kinds of role playing around, you know. I don't know, some sort of samurai, Bushido code role plays. That almost certainly must have happened. You know, I imagine, given how late to the party I am, by literal decades, there must have been so much of this Minecraft culture that I've just missed, you know, so much to learn about it. I wonder. Oh, it's not the greatest shot, but it ain't bad. It ain't bad. Oh, that's still quite nice, isn't it? Let's make our way to follow the moon, chasing it across the night sky. You know, hearing the way I'm speaking right now, I'm almost gonna get self conscious about how not very conducive to sleep I was in the first 10-15 minutes. I imagine if anyone did even bother to listen, they would have tuned out pretty quickly around that. That's beautiful. But I would hope I can make more videos, make them better, and maybe, just maybe, help you doze off to sleep nice and comfy. Oh, it's so nice to see these large patches of flowers around. I really, really like that. I remember in just a day or two ago, I was wishing the game had more of it in the areas that I came across. They were there, don't get me wrong, but they were very sparse, you know. But now I'm seeing so much, well, not right now, but in the very previous two areas, there was so much to embrace, so much to behold. And I'm so glad that Minecraft has some environments that really dial up the foliage and the flowers, especially. It's still so satisfying just walking through the fields like this. It feels calming, you know, just us and our friend the moon here to keep us company. Well, I shouldn't ignore all the stars across the night sky. I don't know why, but the Lion King just came back to mind. I think it was I think it was Simba or Mufasa, one of them, who was describing it as every dot across the night sky is one of your ancestors looking down upon you, or something like that. And I do like that thought, you know, it's very, very comforting. Like you always have someone just watching out for you. And who doesn't want that, right? Surely. Oh, there's a large system here. Well, I will not be tempted. Let's make our way right through here, just as we intended. Now, I really wish I had some better ideas of what I could talk about or what would be most conducive to a nice, deep sleep. And maybe I'd just have Minecraft be sort of unrelated, just in the background. I'm not too sure of where to go with that. Honestly, at this point, I'm surprised I'm getting any viewers at all. Of the few that do stop by, even if it's just for a short while. I do appreciate it all the same. Always find it a bit odd when we come across a pumpkin patch. I'm not even sure why, but I think I just so heavily associated with Halloween that it feels strange to see it in any other setting. You know, like pumpkins just ought not exist unless it's October. It's a bit silly, I know, but that's just how these things, how these associations go, I suppose. Mildly curious. It's not too deep, right? It's just a little bit of a dip. Okay, I really shouldn't go any further. I'm just gonna get completely stuck into that explorer mindset, and I'll just think, you know, one level deeper, that's all I need. Just a little bit more to explore, that's all. And the nice thing, it gave me a halfway decent excuse to just break some blocks. God, oh God, is that satisfying? The sounds with every little every little chip in the dirt, you know. And when it finally pops and you get to pick it up, that little plop sound is so satisfying, isn't it? Um, a lovely, a lovely forest ahead of us over here. You know, I do wonder if this softer, gentler voice is any better to get people to sleep. I am not going to explore. We are only staying on the surface, I promise. Especially after what we found last time, my goodness. Let's just make our way up on top. But yeah, I sort of find that my voice just meanders and fluctuates a good bit. Oh, sorry about that. And surely you can hear it very clearly. It's not got that deep resonance that it was made to have earlier. But I do feel like this sort of loose, airy sort of breath. I mean, I like it right now at least. It's making me quite sleepy. You know, like not even hearing it, just doing the voice. It feels, I don't know, it feels light. You know, it feels almost delicate in a certain way. Oh, it's terribly sorry about that. I keep feeling horrible that I'm making these harsh landings and making those abrupt noises. That is something I do have to work on and get better with. All in due time, I'm sure. Well, brace yourself. We're going for a bit of a dip. I don't even know why that sound is so funny to me, but it's weirdly satisfying. I'd imagine how much effort the sound engineers went to make all of this sound just right, you know, to all have that that crisp sort of tone to it. I am curious though, if you had to pick between a deeper, more resonant sort of voice or the lighter and more airy sort of tone, which one would you actually prefer? Because truth be told, I feel as though I switch between them so much that it's hard to find what my actual tone truly is, you know. I wonder if people have a similar idea of like self discovery, but with their voice, you know. Maybe I'm like reading too deeply into it. Maybe it's just not that deep, but it is a curious thing for me. It's unfortunate that we have such a tall mountain that we can't easily climb, but all the same, I do want to try and get past this whole area. You know, I'm really craving a desert scene. I feel like we just haven't had any luck finding a biome like that. And given the foresty bit that we're in right now, I don't think we'll easily find a desert close by. But hey, maybe I'm completely off on that. Maybe it's just around the corner past that hill and yonder, you know. Oh, gosh, that is bright. I almost feel like hopping on Minecraft and just going for a walk is almost becoming something of a ritual for me. Just helps me get situated for a nice rest. Oh, that is a nice. Well, it's okay. It's not the best shot, but it is nice to see these little, what I can only assume to be rose bushes. Although they are very vertical, they don't have that pesky noise that the what do you call it? The berry bushes had. I do wish I could get a better shot of this. Maybe this works. Yeah, this looks alright. Well, let's not dilly dally, shall we? We have much more to see, I'm sure. Oh, there we go. Alright, time for a little bit, just a little bit of a swim. There we go. Gosh, the grass here really is quite tall, isn't it? And I do have to admit the popping is a little irksome, a little troublesome. Maybe next time I'll raise the render distance a little bit. Sure, it'll make things feel a bit smoother, you know, less of that artificial popping constantly happening. Gosh, like we talked about recently, I'm sort of craving a coffee, but once again, not for the taste or the effect, just for the smell. I want that aroma in front of me right now. Well, and that and the feeling of holding a cup of coffee. Ooh, that is a beautiful, beautiful sight. Look at that, the way the water is dripping all the way down to the bottom. The lava trying to compete way in the background. Oh, that is pretty. Where we can go from here. Where's the moon? Oh, well, let's make our way right through this little bit of water. It's not too much, thankfully. It's just a little patch. Oh, maybe we'll go on to the left. I do see some oddly shaped trees in the distance. Something different. Those almost feel like the place we saw before, the kind of not swampy but jungle-esque kind of place. But that can't be it, right? Surely I wouldn't see this near the top of a hill if it's going to be marshy and stuff. Or maybe this truly is a proper jungle this time, you know. I would almost wonder if this game has. Well, oh, what's this? Is this like a watermelon or something? Hmm. I don't really know what this could be. It could be so large to be a block. Well, I'm sure we'll figure that out later. For now, we just get to explore at our leisure. I can't help but think back on the Jungle Book and that lovely, lovely song, The Bare Necessities. It really is one of the best songs that Disney put out. And I kind of wish we could see a lot more fauna out here. Some bears, some snakes, maybe a tiger or a jaguar passing by. Wouldn't it be so cool if we could see monkeys just swinging between the trees? Although I can't imagine that's easy to implement, but I would most certainly appreciate that. Sorry, a bit of a dip in the water. It's always a little too loud, if you ask me. Not by much, but just a little bit. Oh wow, we really are in a proper thicket, aren't we? What is this? The single bamboo shoot. Okay, this really is a jungle. This is really making me wish I was playing World of Warcraft. Just to walk around and explore the place. Gosh. I still don't understand how there's a pit of lava here that doesn't just spread voraciously, burning the entire place down. It is a bit odd, but well, we'll just have to accept that's how the game works for whatever reason. Another cave, but I will withhold myself. I'll just admire it from a distance. I thought I saw some wood paneling down there. That is a bit strange. A little bit odd. Let's see. How much further can we go out here? This place really is beautiful. There's just so much of this greenery. There's even more waiting for us up ahead. The mysteries of a jungle with nature just completely taking root out here. Oh god, I just realized how cool would it be if we could find something akin to a Mayan civilization out here, complete with those sun disks and all that. That'd be so cool to see. I'd be surprised if the game had something like that, but Then again, I was very surprised to even see that green underground, almost alien looking place. Well, maybe I shouldn't say alien exactly, but something otherworldly. Not even sure how to really describe it fairly. Go. Sorry, I am losing my footing over and over here. Let's just try and make our way up here. You know, I really should, maybe from the next video on, get myself at the start of some location like this and just make the whole thing about wandering right through a thick, thick jungle. It's truly, I really appreciate this sort of biome. And I kind of like the consistency, you know, it's very predictable, very samey, kind of boring, but in a very good way. I can feel myself taking nice, long, deep breaths and letting my mind wander and meander. Every little step and every little breath getting me closer and closer to just dozing off. It does seem like every video I put out hasn't really done much so far. Not sure if it ever will, but this one in particular, I should be a bit concerned about how loud that early phase was. And especially with how creepy it was, my goodness. But it's no biggie. I'm just gonna upload and let what happens happen. How does the old saying go? Don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Something like that. I'm sure with some time, with some introspection and some practice, I'll get a little bit better with each attempt at making this format work, you know. Though I do very much feel like I should be doing some other games here and there. You know, as far as boring games go, Minesweeper would be a very, very good call, wouldn't it? Just an hour of playing Minesweeper and talking about nothing. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, you know, I would very much enjoy some game that had the vibes of Undertale, but not as actively engaging as that. You know, something that had the cozy, heartwarming vibes, but was also conducive to a nice, deep sleep. Not sure what would fit that bill, but I'm sure we can find something. Gosh, they aren't going to make this easy on me either. Well, never mind, I take it back. That was plenty easy. Let's see. I wonder how close we are to the edge of this biome. And I do feel like we've not quite been walking in a straight line, but somewhat of a singular direction of movement, somewhat going to some end up ahead. Now, hopefully, I'm not off on this, and that is the case. It will be a bit tragic to learn that I just came in one big circle. Gosh, I'm a little bit nervous that I'm going to lose my footing and just plummet by quite a way. Oh, that is a big, big area. But fret not, we will find our way right through. Can't be that hard now, can it? Oh, right, a big dive and then we surface around there. There we go. See, normally this would terrify me, but just knowing that we're in peaceful mode, having that peace of mind that there is no danger, that assurance, it really goes a long way to set me at ease. Maybe I should just go along the side now. Yeah, this was the better move, for sure. I'm not sure if I heard that right. It sounded like, even though I was in the water, there was a block right below, and I could hear that wet sand sort of sound effect coming out. Hmm. I do wish I could see some sort of village, one that's specifically designed to coexist with a jungle like this. Wouldn't that be very interesting to see? I feel like so far we only saw the little jump, the regular quote unquote house or houses in like little gentle plains and rolling hills, and one other case in an icy area. But I can't help but wonder if the game has a bunch of other designs that are specific to different biomes. I think I hear some fireflies nearby. We may have missed them, but let's try to maintain our course. There is a lot of water around here. I guess it seems fitting given how tropical this place looks and feels. Oop. Sorry about that. As loud as the crashes must be, I wonder if my reactions are drawing even more attention to it, making it potentially even more disruptive. I should really just let the sound happen and almost ignore it, Let it be a thing that happened and give it no more power past that. I'm very glad to finally be seeing some fireflies up close again. I really miss these guys. Hey, I don't want to wake you guys up too much, but I do want to say hello. Hey, look at them. Really is always a treat to pop by. You just hear them dance and do their own thing, all while I just get to sit here and admire them. That we have other places to go, other things to see. Go. It still feels a bit odd to see bamboo shoots in a jungle thicket, but I'm no expert on this and I could be way off. But it's weird, it feels off if I stop to think about it, but if I just pass by them, they feel perfectly in place. It's in that same vein of wild nature. Well, it feels strange saying wild nature, but when nature's left to its own tools and its own tasks, I feel like those kinds of sights would be common. Seeing a bamboo shoot growing and thriving, even in the midst of so much competition. Although they do have a lot, and I mean a lot of water around. What am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I feel like I'm just rambling and saying nothing, like always. How is that? I'm not sure if we found a new biome or if that's just a small patch before many more trees await us. But it is going to be worth a quick look, isn't it? Listen to all that sand. No, it almost doesn't quite sound like sand to me. It's that unmistakable extra crunch to it. Oh, is this like hard packed sand, or it might just be that? I almost thought for a second that we stumbled onto some other, ancient ruin or something. Ancient ruin, I should be saying. It's silly how quickly my mind wanders to World of Warcraft. I think of ruins, or runes rather, and out of nowhere I'm instantly thinking about Death Knights and how they use different runes for different abilities and all that. It's a silly thing, but it does hit me. I do think. No, I see some trees in the distance. I thought for a moment we'd found another, desert biome out here, but does not seem to be likely. This really feels like it's trying to nudge me to some sort of mystery, but I'm surely reading way too much into it. Let's see. As much as I do like that short little area of having sand below us, it is so much nicer having grass below us. Feeling that soft, gentle, that little impact on the leaves below us. It's very, very satisfying. With the distant poppin', it's only a tiny bit of the trees that, like half the tree that shows up. And I end up thinking it's some sort of structure out there, but, a few steps closer, and sure enough, it's just another tree. Not that it's a bad thing, really. I get very excited if I see something that ought not be there. Something new or different to stumble onto. Where is our friend the moon anyway? I feel like we lost track of it a while ago. Oh, there he is. Hope he didn't miss us too badly. And I think I took a very sharp turn away from the moon at some point without even realizing. I should have been aligned to it to make sure I'm getting to the right direction. That is beautiful. Our firefly friends are here too. Hey. Hey. But that's okay. Maybe I will stop here for now and we can continue sometime later. Truly, I feel like I spoke of literally nothing, but maybe next time I'll have something to say. All the same, if you were trying to sleep, I'd only hope that talking about nothing helps with that. Anyway, I'll leave you to it, Try and get some good sleep. I'll see you next time. night.